Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey Book. This is part 2 of the, bug out bag, get home bag, survival bag. I don't care what you call the bag. It's just good to have something that you need. And today we're actually going to go over kind of 3 of them. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey Book. And today I've got whiskey and a book, even though we're going over bags. I know it doesn't make much sense, but hey, first I want to give a shout out to my newest book. This is Prepared. Mike Glover, former Army Special Forces, runs now Fieldcraft Survival out of Utah. It's an outstanding train men and women how to be prepared. And that's what his school is. That's what the book is. I haven't read it all. I've just seen the reviews, what it's about. So I'm not going to give you, hey, this is the greatest thing ever yet. I'll get back to you after I read it. I'm going back and forth between this one and Left of Bang, which is another great book. And I don't have that right now. I want to give the author some credit, but that I'll have that book on in the future. And this wouldn't be Whiskey Book without a little whiskey. What am I drinking? New one for me. I just got it this week. The Elijah Craig Straight Rye. Haven't had this before. 94 proof. Elijah Craig product. Never used to like rye that much, but I've kind of been getting into it a little bit. And this one it's definitely got some rye spice and some cinnamon flavors. And I'm going to enjoy this while we go through bags. Well, what bags do we have today? Last week we went through my get home bag, which I can throw in any vehicle, take anywhere, and it has a sole purpose of getting me home. It's got enough stuff in there that if I get stranded in my vehicle, whatever, I can live for a day or two, possibly more if I need to, depending on the weather conditions. Of course it does. But that bag has a lot of good stuff in it. And today I've got, I'm going to go over kind of 3. I'm going to say kind of because the other 2 you'll see in a second aren't, I don't know if we'd qualify them as full bags, but different purposes for different bags. Now, the first one I'm going to throw at you because it's just kind of fun is I have an SE6 CM6, SE6, I think they call it the Combat. I don't see too many of these. Love this knife, by the way. Essie's a great company. If you don't know Essie, you get their knife. It's made out of 1095 steel, high carbon. Doesn't hold an edge like some of the new super steels, but it's tough as hell. It won't break, and if it does, they will replace it. That is what they're known for, free of charge. Their warranty is outstanding. So anyway, what is this? This is my wife likes to call my backpack knife because it has a little bag on there. And what does this bag contain? I'm going to try to get in the camera down here. Is a little, this tin is actually made by Essie, but you can make your own. And I don't want to pull out all the contents because they're just so well packed in here. And I'm going to just kind of cruise through some of the things in this video. But what it's got in here is a whistle, some tinder, matches, fire steel, and striker, one of those little bow saws, which I could probably do without, and a couple other little things in there, but that's the purpose of it. I just think that's kind of fun. Yes, the tinder can absolutely be used if I need to start a fire, and I can use this knife to do it. This has a coating on it. You can't strike a fire steel with it, but this has a false edge up here. It's not a false edge. It's actually a kind of a spear point with that is a sharpened edge, but you can use that sharpened edge to strike your fire steel, keeping your main edge clean. Anyway, that's my first bag. I just had to show that one to you because of my backpack knife. Not a bad thing to have. You can put this, I've got these Blade Tech Molly, oh God, I'm going to try to do this on camera. These things come up and you can put this through your Molly pouch and attach it, and that's a really solid way to attach Kydex to a bag if you have Molly. Okay, so what's my real bag? That is a real bag. That actually has stuff in there. But that is last ditch. This is the second bag I'm going to show you today. This is, I don't even know who makes this pouch, but this is just a pouch bag. What I have this for, I can throw this in a center console of a vehicle. I can fit this sometimes in a pocket of, you know, the big pockets on coats and whatnot. And this bag, kind of cool, it comes up, it opens up, and I believe it used to be a trauma bag, which is, I have a couple of those. I've just got a couple things in here to take. Got a little Victorinox, one of these, I don't remember what's the Woodland. I can't remember what this one is, but it has little knife, big knife, toothpick, corkscrew, which can also be used to as kind of an awl, but I think this one might have an awl in it anyway. Nope, there's the awl. You need to have one of those. If you don't know what that's all about, go watch Dave Canterbury's. Runs the Pathfinder School, or big part of it, and we're going to get into that here in a little bit. But this has a hook. I actually don't know. I guess that's to grab and pull string through. Pretty cool. I got stuff in here that I've never used, and of course, I think the best reason to have one of these little Victorinox knives is those scissors are actually pretty good. And sometimes they have tweezers, but I don't see this one doesn't have the tweezers. Oh, yep. It's just hidden behind that. There it is, little tweezers. I'm not sure how, I don't think those are strong enough to pull a really good sliver out, but they're there. So that's in there. I have this is a gift my wife got me. This is a little arrowhead you can put on a stick to make a mini spear, atlatl arrow, something like that. Or you can just use it to strike fire steel, or cut up some wood, kind of whittle on some wood. I've got in here, I've got a signal mirror. Now, when I was in the Air Force, this is one of the things, I actually got to use this in the field. These work. You have a helicopter coming in to rescue you. There's a little sight you look through here. You sight in on the helicopter or conveyance that's coming to pick you up. You can see where the shine is going, the reflection. Make sure you just don't blind the pilot. They don't appreciate that. Little survival card by Essie that actually went in that tin that I had. This thing has some cordage in it. This little pack isn't fully developed yet, but it's got some stuff in here. I've got a little signaling kit with, I haven't opened this yet, and this is from the gray bearded Green Beret. Got all kinds of people I get stuff from, but he's also a Green Beret, runs a school for being prepared, let's put it that way. I really like his stuff too. But he gets these little boss kits, and this one is for signaling, and it's got a whistle, another, I'm going to have to take my mirror and put that in my other kit, because this one already has a mirror in it. This one has, you can't tell, but it's got these those brake light things that use on like Halloween and stuff. It's got tacks and a signal board. So you can use a signal board to signal in somebody, or you can tack it up on a tree, because you can't always be awake, and maybe you can just sit there and do the work for you. Okay, in this pack I've got extra batteries, some cordage, and this is from my days in the Air Force too. There's a water pouch in here. Water resistant pouch, and you can either put water in here, or you can put things that you don't want to get wet. This seals up pretty good. It's kind of like a Ziploc Plus. You put the things in there, you seal that end up, and then you roll it over on itself, and then that Velcro hits, and you're sealed as all get out. I have a little cloth in here to clean off cameras, whatever. Let me see what else I have in this bag. And then these little guys are pretty cool. It's for cordage. Probably knows what these, might be hard to see, but you put your cordage in there, and you can put it through a branch, put it back through, and gives you kind of a stopper without having to tie a note and use all your cordage. So those are just some minor supplies. That bag, again, not flushed out, which is fine, because the point of that is we can have bags of all sizes depending on your need. And that one would be just say you're 2 miles out of town and you're worried that, drive off the road, whatever, slide off. You just need to, your getting home isn't as far as somebody else's, or might run out of batteries, or who knows. You can put whatever you want in that little kit, but I like the fact that I've got that one full of signaling stuff, because that's more immediate. That's, hey, I'm not planning on building a big shelter here, I just want to get some help. Might be closer to civilization, but know that, hey, it's still cold out. We were, again, 40 below here about 3-4 weeks ago. You can't be out in that long before things happen to you. Get a whistle, you get some ways to signal, get some help to you immediately, because your voice does not travel that far. Okay, those were kind of the preamble to what I really wanted to get at today. This is what I call my Jeep kit. I'll put it back here in the camera a little bit. This is, we talked about the Pathfinder School with Dave Canterbury, and this is their Molly kit. This is kit, their canteen kit. I'm not sure what it's called, but you put you'll see what I have in here. I'll show you. But it's pretty neat. You have a strap back here. I have it pulled through the loops. You can put this strap on, carry it with you. This has a different purpose than my get home bag, than my bug out bag. This kit goes in my Jeep, because what am I most likely doing in my Jeep? I'm out in the mountain roads, in the woods, and want to have a camp, or have a lunch at a camp, and I want to cook out or something. And so what if I forget something? I want to have those things with me, but I also want to have stuff that in case the worst happens, that I can still get home. So it's a mini get home picnic kit. Let's call it that. So what do I have in this one? Let's go on the front here. And I have always having a light in these things, a Blackhawk flashlight. Again, I'm going to do the same. I said it last week, but if you didn't watch last week, these things that either charge or take batteries, check them at least once a month to make sure that they are good to go. I would change, if they're AA's, AAA's, I'd change those every season, about 3 months, just to make sure. Have a little quick stove in here that you set up, and you can, let me get this set up here. These are kind of nifty. So you set these up, you put wood in here, and you can set your cooking utensil. Well, that one you actually use at the base to put your fire in, or your catches your ash or whatever, so it doesn't go on the ground. But then it has this cool little grate, goes on the top. You can set things on there, and we'll get to those things here in a minute. I have a full set of fork, spoon, and knife to eat with. I do not like sporks. They are not fun. They are not, I would almost rather have a wooden spoon than a spork. Talked about these last time, didn't show it. Adventure wipes. Little tube of, well, I don't have that open. Otherwise I'd pull that out for you. They're little tablet things that you pull out, and you get a little water on them, and they just expand like, I don't know, 18 inches by 18 inches, something like that. And you can use them for wipes, towels, wash your clothes, whatever. Okay, again, gray bearded green beret. This is where I got this from. However, this is not full of his stuff. This has a knife sharpener in it, and we'll get to the knife in a little bit. Always good to have a knife sharpener with you, even if you're not in a survival situation. This might be a camp set, cooking a steak, and my knife's not sharp enough. I want to make sure I get through that. Have a couple Jolly Ranchers and Tums in here. I talked about this last time as well. Your mental health is as important as anything else. You want to keep, not just sane, but you want to be as happy, as cheery as you can possibly be. It's going to be a tough situation. Again, this may not be a survival situation, but I get stuck out in the woods. Maybe I get a flat tire. Make my little camp set, have a little something to eat, get a Jolly Rancher. My mood is going to be better. This goes to something else we will get to soon. This Mylar blanket. I love and hate these things. I love them that they're cheap and they fit in these little bags, but man, do they rip easy. So you got to be careful with those. They're kind of a one-shot use. And this, so I was talking about this little round guy on my cook stove earlier. That can be for catching ashes so you don't get them on the ground, but they can also be, what they're really good for, is I've got like these mini infernos is what this one's called, but these little fire starters. You take these little things out, these wafers, you break them in half. I don't have a ton of them, so I'm not going to break one right now, but you break them in half and they get the little frilly edges, and you can take your match, your lighter, your ferro rod, and that will light right up. You put it inside there, put some sticks on there, you're going to have yourself a nice flame in no time. Okay, this bag, really cool. So that's the front pocket of this bag. The other part is the main compartment, which is this long tube area. In the top, I have a little baklava, I don't know. It's like Worcestershire sauce. I can't pronounce it, but that's in there. I always want something, for my head. I got to keep warm up there. If I don't have my hat blows away or something, or it's just cold out to cover the face, the neck. Those are the areas you want to cover. Okay, inside of here, this is what this whole bag is made for, is to carry this container or ones like it. This is from the Pathfinder School. What's important about these metal containers is that they are single wall. What does that mean? Single wall means that you can put water in there, cook them on an open fire, and you don't have to worry about gases being trapped in there and all kinds of other stuff. And you can boil water in there, and you can actually put, if you have those meals, you can put those in there and cook in here if you want, and it goes pretty cool right on that right there. So that's neat to have. Has a lid, but you don't cook with, obviously don't want to boil the water with the lid on. Yeah, that goes to something else. I'll show you here in a second. All right, so what did I just pull out of this guy? Well, I've got 2 bottles of, this is Whiskey Book. I've got a Pendleton and a Lolo Creek, which is kind of a local brewery. It's kind of the only 2 little whiskey bottles I had. Goes back to the Jolly Ranchers. Same general purpose, a little pick-me-up if you need it. I have another extra, this is a wipey or a wafer, probably fell out of my bag here, that you can use to start a fire or just wipe things off like your camera. Have a lighter. Always good to have a Bic wrapped in Gorilla Tape. Tape you can pull back off and use it for a myriad of things. Maybe you just have to repair something on your vehicle. I have tea and chai in here. Again, a very good pick-me-up. A small screwdriver, which may or may not leave in there. It's for adjusting something here, but I have a tool set in the truck. Okay, we'll get to that later. And you saw the lid come out here. That's not for nothing. That lid goes to this cup. So this is a whole setup, and this is pretty dang cool. So what you got here is this little guy who came out there earlier. You can use here. You can use on this outside cup thing to hold. The cup doesn't really like to fit in there if you do it that way though. And this that comes with the cup actually turns over and it's its own fire thing. So if you don't have this stove, you have an extra one. This one, also single wall, has a lid that you can boil because it's got holes in the top. So it's kind of this whole cooking setup where I can boil my water in here, put my tea or whatever in here, pour it in there, or if I have two people, I can accommodate. Ferro rod with a striker, just in case the Bic doesn't work. And that's, this is kind of my camp set, but like I said before, the coup de grace here is got to have a knife to cut the steak, to cut the branches, to cut the salad, whatever you got to cut, man. That's what this is for. This is a Mora Garberg. This is the stainless. This is an outstanding knife made in Sweden. You can get Mora knives for $15 to $20, but not this one. This is the full tang with the plastic covering over the full tang, solid knife. This is not a quarter. This is probably an eighth, probably more than an eighth thick, but it's sharp. It feels good in the hand, and this is going to do the tasks that I needed to do. Also comes with a little ferro rod on there. But that's this kit, folks. This is kind of, there's two redundancies in here. I have redundant fire. Well, there's more than two redundancies. I have redundant fire starters. I have redundant cooking containers. I have redundant cookers. I have redundant pick-me-ups in the form of whiskey, tea. I actually have tertiary pick-me-ups that shows you how much I think that's important, and the Jolly Ranchers in there. We have some towels in case you got to run and use the outdoors, or you just want to clean up after yourself. We have a full set of eating utensils because, yeah, I know you can take your knife, jab, and eat. That's dangerous to me and have other purposes for my knife. I mean, if I have to dress an animal or something, I certainly don't want to eat with that. But this is a really, really neat setup. The Pathfinder School, awesome company. Check them out. This is bag number 2. Yes, I showed you 2 others. This is my main other bag. This is my Jeep bag. This is my go camping, make sure I have everything with me bag. But if I'm missing something here, obviously there's no medical in this. This isn't so much survival, even though you can if you need to. But let me know if I got some room, what I need to put in here, what I'm missing. Maybe some fishing kit. If I go up camping by a stream, maybe I need a fishing kit in here. So anyway, that's that one. Next time is going to be the big boy. That's going to be the get home bag. And we'll get to see where we get to go with that. So, hey, I'm going to take a sip of the rye. Definitely rye. It's got bourbon on the back with that vanilla, but sure has a rye kick to it. Very easy to drink though. The 94 proof isn't harsh at all. That is a good sipping rye. I'm going to sit and enjoy that while I figure out how to put this bag back together. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time on Whiskey Book.